All right, everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the Hood. Welcome back to the Baseball Hood 2. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk about it here in this video. The 2025 MLB Draft, which will take place on July 13th through the 14th. And, of course, if you're a New York Mets fan, they will be picking number 38. And it really, it's a crapshoot at that point. But we're going to talk about the top 6 candidates to go number 1 to the Nationals. They have the number 1 pick through the lottery draft. And they got the number 1 pick for this year. And this is what CBS Sports is saying. 2025 MLB Draft, 6 candidates to go number 1 as Nationals hold first pick, including a dark horse pitcher. The draft is set for July 13th. And, of course, they've had the combine on MLB Network. I watched some of it on Tuesday. It was interesting to watch some of the players, some of the young guys. I saw a player called Anthony Pace hitting balls into the pool in Arizona. It was just incredible to watch a guy that young hitting the ball that far, and keep an eye on him. And I don't believe he's ranked. And we also know about Camden Sabathia, who's not ranked either. They also highlighted, and what I watched was Ethan Petrie, who's a top pick, one of the best college players in the draft. So we'll see who goes where. Major League Baseball's amateur draft's only weeks away, and the Washington Nationals slated to make the first overall pick come Sunday. And I would mention, I will be live on the Baseball Hut on YouTube, and I will be talking about the Mets and who they're going to draft. And obviously, I'm going to do a review of the season and a preview of the second half. So when the Nationals make their selection to represent the 3rd time in Washington franchise history, they've chosen to top the draft, joining when they picked Bryce Harper and Steven Strasburg back-to-back in 2009 to 2010. I would mention they had the number 2 pick 2 years ago, and they selected Dylan Cruz. And he's been playing. I guess he's hurt now, but he's a top player. And I'm going to go through the players here. And I was going through the draft earlier. And the one thing I was very surprised about, and it looks like a very heavy left-handed pitching draft. I saw some very interesting pitchers in this draft, just in terms of lefties. And there's 3 top lefties, and they're lefties down further in the draft. So teams could really select a very good southpaw in this coming amateur draft. Now, they posted a whole bunch of names here. Kade Anderson from LSU. Liam Doyle from Tennessee. Again, these guys are all left-handed pitchers. Jamie Arnold from Florida State. He was supposedly a few weeks ago the number 1 pick. He was going to go number 1, but it seems like his stock has dropped a little bit. We'll start with the top, with the 3 best pitchers in the class. Coincidentally, they're all collegiate lefties. Again, it's a very heavy lefty draft. Arnold entered the spring ranked as CBS Sports top draft prospect on the strength of a 4-pitch arsenal and a modern release point. He didn't have as good of a season this year, however, and he has some stiff competition for the crown of best pitcher in the class. Doyle was the breakout collegiate star of the year, dominating the opposition with a big-time fastball. Anderson, for his part, is an SEC-vetted lefty with a deep arsenal and good control. What I saw of Doyle is he's got a fastball up to 80, which is, 20 to 80 is how they register it. So I think he was given an 80, which is very high. Anderson, that means he must throw 100 miles an hour. Anderson has been getting buzz lately for the top spot. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Again, these decisions tend to be made late, but as one scout reasoned, he could move quickly and slot into a rotation by this time next year. Nationals have selected a pitcher in the first round since 2020, whatever that's worth. And the 2 big position players here is the prepsters, Ethan Holliday, the son of Matt Holliday, the brother of Jackson Holliday. He could go number 1. He's still the number 1 prospect. His stock has gone back up again. Eli Willits, another shortstop, Fort Cobb Broxton High School. And, of course, Ethan is from Stillwater High School, and they're both from Oklahoma. Holliday and Willits are considered the best. You won't get this anywhere else. That's why you got to subscribe. Holliday and Willits are considered the best prep players in the class, but for left-handed infields with ample bloodlines. Holliday's father is Matt, and brother is Jackson, while Willet's father is Reggie. And brother Jackson is a collegiate player at Oklahoma. The dark horse in this draft, at least early on, is right-handed pitcher Seth Hernandez, who I've seen number 2 in mock drafts. He's from Corona High School, California. Hernandez would be the most polarizing selection the Nationals could make among the names represented within this article. That dynamic has less to do with Hernandez himself and more to do with his general profile. A prep right-handed pitcher. Why does it matter? A prep right-handed has never been selected with the number 1 pick. Heck, only 2 prep left-handers have been selected number 1 overall in the last 35 years. The most recent being Brady Aiken, 2014. Most front offices these days recognize that prep righties have a brutal attrition rate, making it difficult to justify using a premium selection on one. And I would say this too. Never draft a catcher in your first round. Never draft a catcher. Never draft a outfielder that has no power and does not have a great hit tool. You stay away from those guys. And you stay away from guys. I saw a player that was mocked to the Mets, and I would stay away from him. Can't hit, does not have any power. Stay away from guys that are considered good defensive players. You stay away from those kind of guys. But you stay away from catchers, and you always try to draft a shortstop. But if you draft a shortstop, you better hit. You don't want to do what the Mets did years ago and draft Gavin Cecchini, who couldn't hit. And the talk was that he couldn't hit. And he's a high school player. So he didn't like really pan out. And we got other instances with other teams that I can go through. But again, if you're going to draft high in any draft in baseball, you stay away from the catchers, and you draft infielders if you can, in particular shortstop if you can. And if you draft other players, outfielders are fine. College pitchers are fine. Personally, if you have the number 1 pick, I mean the number 1 pick, you pick the best position player you could possibly get. Again, I can use examples. The 1994 draft, the New York Mets drafted a 1994 draft. New York Mets drafted Paul Wilson, college pitcher. He was a complete total bust. A guy after him, a shortstop, got drafted by the Red Sox, and he became a legendary player, Nomar Garcia-Parra. So you always want to draft, especially when you're that high up, a no doubter. And you always want to draft a player that's going to help you. You want to draft a player that's always going to help you for the long term. Especially going to invest that kind of money and that kind of prestige. So, but we'll go through this draft on this channel, and then of course we'll have a big live stream the Sunday of the last game before the All-Star break. So we'll go through it, and you got to follow me, and it's a lot of picks to go through on Sunday night, so on the 13th. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you later.